This is a clay lesson on how to slip and score items to a pinch pot to create something like a clay turtle or another type of animal. And so what I'm going to start off with today is a little chunk of clay to use. I've already created my pinch pot. I have a clay knife, a scoring tool, and a little cup of water or slip. So I'm going to flip my pinch pot over because I'm going to create this as the turtle shell. So I've got this little chunk here, and I'm going to squish it and kind of try to form it into something like a turtle head. So I'm just rolling a little ball, squishing it flat, give it a little pinch here. Okay, squish it down. Now back here is where I want this head to attach. So I'm going to push it on the table so that now I have a little flat space where that can attach to my clay. So I'm squishing it. And if I want to attach clay, I have to do what's called slipping and scoring, like making my own Velcro. So I'm taking this little scoring stick and roughing up. I'm making a rough texture on the clay. Now right here is where I want that little turtle head to stick. So I'm going to rough up the clay where it's going to touch. Now I'm going to take a little slip or a little bit of water. I'm just dipping one finger in, a little bit of water on there. Now the rough marks touch the rough marks like I'm making my own Velcro. Now I've got my hand underneath there and I'm pressing those two together. To give it a little extra security, I'm going to take my scoring stick and push a little bit of the clay down to help it attach. That way it'll give it a better chance of surviving as it dries. Then my pieces won't fall off. I can use my finger to smooth things. So now I've got a little head on here. I could use the scoring stick to make eyes. I could slip and score on different eyes. So my next move would then be to make a flipper. So again, I'm going to grab a chunk of clay. This time I'm going to kind of make like a little coil. And since I've got two flippers in the front, I'm going to make two little coils. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is flatten those coils a little bit. So I'm going to kind of press down. And I should have newspaper or something underneath here because I don't want that to stick. Now I'm going to kind of right here, I'm curving the flipper. And I want it to attach here. So I'm going to use that trick of kind of flattening it on the table. Let's see, that looks like it'll fit good there. Now I'm going to pinch this one. I'm pinching it because I want it to come to a point. Over here I'm going to kind of flatten that out so those can fit right there. And then I would go and make a tail and some back fins too. Before I do that, I need to slip and score. If I just stick these on, it looks really great like they're going to stick on. But as they dry, what's going to happen is they will fall right off. So I have to make my own Velcro. Score, 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 score. Right there where I wanted that piece to go, you can see the little rough score marks. And on the end of the flipper, score, 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 score. And now I'm going to take a tiny bit of water, put it right on there, attach this piece here, and then I am going to use my scoring stick to push some of that clay to help it attach. And then again, I use my finger to smooth it out. So my next step will be to attach this fin or flipper and then work on the back end of the turtle. Now that I've gotten both of the flippers attached in the front, I'm working on the back leg. So I just took a little chunk of clay, kind of rolled it into a ball, squished it down flat. Then I kind of pushed it onto the table to get that flat area, and then started to kind of squeeze and push it into the shape that I want. Now these back ones, I kind of wanted them to look more like they were webbed. So I'm going to take this scoring stick of mine and kind of stick them up in there to kind of give them looking like a webbed or almost like a claw on their back legs. Then again, I need to slip and score those. So I'm going to scratch, scratch, scratch on this one and this one. And then I'm going to pick up my clay turtle really carefully and make those scratch marks back here where I want those legs to attach. Take a tiny bit of water on both and then match up the rough parts, like I'm attaching Velcro. Then again, I like to use my scoring stick to get into those little tiny places that my fingers can't get to smooth the clay. So I've got this back leg on here, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach the other one. Then I'm going to work on a tail. I've got the tail attached now, and so the last thing I might want to think about is maybe adding some texture to the turtle. So I've got one of these rubber texture plates here, so I can kind of flip it over. If I just press down on my turtle, he's going to collapse, so I have my fingers inside, and I can just kind of rub this along the back of the turtle to kind of give it that shell type of a texture. Another idea I could do is I could use my scoring tool, and I could go ahead and draw that texture in. The last thing I need to do is make sure that on the inside I have my name, and if you're a student, you need to have your teacher code on the inside as well. This is a lesson on creating a clay turtle or sculpture on slipping and scoring.